Hi, are you behind on filing your income tax returns? Is it weighing heavily on the back of your mind that I know I need to file? Maybe you've gotten a letter from the IRS that says you need to catch up on your tax returns, or you need to file this year, or you need to file that year. But you really don't know where to go or who to turn to. And better yet, who do you trust? The laws have changed very much over the past 6 years. Actually, they've changed just about every year something has changed. Who keeps up with those laws? I'm Tina Hall with Haworth Associates Tax Relief. My team consists of, former IRS agents, CPAs, and EAs who all stay well versed in the laws. We help people to file those back taxes, whether it's last year's taxes or whether it's taxes from 6 years ago. Maybe you haven't filed taxes in the last 10 years. What is your requirement to file for those last years? The IRS says you're only required to file the last 6 years. But if you have a tax return that's beyond that 6 years, do you need to go back and look at it? Did the IRS, go back and file a substitute return for you? Meaning, if you didn't file a return and they think you owed them money, they're going to file a tax return for you. In which they're not going to consider everything there is. They're only going to look at the income base. So if you go back and file the original return for that year that they filed a substitute return, it may lower your liability. There's a lot of things there that come into play when you're looking at back taxes and what years are required to file. What do you need to do? What were the laws back then? We help people understand that law, and we kind of go back and see, what do you need to do? What is your requirements to file those back years? What if you file those back years and then you have a balance due? How do you handle that? Myself or my team, one of my team members, or all of us together as a team will come up with the best plan for you. We represent people like you all the time. And if you need some help in doing something, or if you have questions on what is your requirement to file for these past years, or what does the IRS or the state require you to file? Does your state even have an income tax return? Of course, I live in Georgia, and Georgia says, yes, if you owe us money or if you have a requirement to file, then we need you to file your tax return. The same as the IRS. The IRS says if you have a requirement to file, you should file an income tax return. What if you had the withholdings there and you didn't file that return, but you would have gotten a refund had you filed that return? There are some statute of limitations there that says after a few years, actually 3 years, you won't get that refund back. So is it to your best advantage to go ahead and file that past tax return, to see if you do have a refund coming? If you have any questions or you need some help filing back taxes, give myself a call, 478-237-4349. Again, I'm Tina Hall with Haworth Associates Tax Relief.